What? Huh? Why are you looking at me like I just kicked your cat? It's incredible how much more pleasant it is to be woken up by a woman than a boy. Hello and welcome. I'm Ash Mannix, and once again, we're playing the house in Fata Morgana. I don't know why it always feels like so long since I've last played the game, even though it's only been a week, so not too long. I try to remember what happened last time. We continued the story of the witch. We had confronted Mel about what was going on between Mel, the two other men, and the witch Morgana, who had been imprisoned. Mel told us, so we cornered Mel in a sense by kind of using Nellie against him. And yes, because of that, Mel kind of broke and gave us the full story of how it came to be that Mel got embroiled in all of this, and it was pretty bad. He was basically roped into it. We got to hear Mel's story of how him and Nellie left the family. Mel was pushed out and Nellie followed him because she cares for him greatly, which is extremely admirable. And I think, yeah, we finished at the point where Mel had, I think, just finished his story. Need a swig of water. It is boiling in my room this evening. It's been like 30 degrees in the room, so rather uncomfortable for me. I'm not used to it as a Scotsman, but anyway, let us get into it. Inspect my memories. His story. Yes, I'm just going to switch to full screen and let's get into this. Yes, I believe this is just after Mel finished telling the story. See, what did I tell you? I'm not at all the brother you thought I was. Mock me, ridicule me, call me worthless, a coward, a terrible person. Go on, what are you waiting for? But you were threatened, Mel. He said he would hurt me, hurt you. That's the only reason you went along with him. You didn't do anything wrong, dearest Mel. The other man is the bad guy, not you. I apologise if I sneeze. I've never had massive hay fever issues, but definitely lately in the last few years, I seem to have become a lot more sensitive to the pollen count. You did the best you could. You didn't have a choice. That terrible man forced you to do everything. Nellie, you didn't do anything wrong, dearest Mel. No, I didn't. I didn't do anything wrong. I had no other choice. I don't know why this feels like he's just waiting for an excuse, but I mean, they're right. Nellie is right. Like, you had no other choice. You were forced into do it. He threatened Nellie's life and your life. And I'm pretty sure he would have acted on his threat as well if you hadn't listened to him. He would have at the very least attacked Nellie and then forced you to go in some form. That's not true. All you're doing is closing your eyes. What? You mustn't coddle yourself. But what was I supposed to do then? Don't be mean to my Mel. Did you really do the best you could? Did you even once try to do something about the situation, as hopeless as it may have seemed? Could you not even conceive of any other options? Could you not have come with something else to say at Morgana's house? Something that might have given her even the slightest clue she was in danger. But when she opened the door, did you do anything? Did you even so much as attempt to stop him? My legs were shaking so bad I couldn't move. There's no way I could have stopped him. Then at the very least you shouldn't have fled. You should have stayed and told her the truth. That you weren't there willingly, and maybe she wouldn't have felt so utterly betrayed. But he was there. You think I could have actually stayed there with him? Not a chance. And it's not like Morgana would have... She opened the door because she trusted you. She isn't the easiest person to read, but she was opening up to you. And what did you do with that trust? Stop it, please. You've made your point. It's not all Mel's fault either. If anything, he's a victim. He was just trying to protect me. Were you listening to anything he said, Nellie? You were not Mel's first priority. He did what he did for his own sake. Well, what did you expect me to do? Pull courage I don't have out of thin air? What's so wrong with self-preservation? There was nothing I could have done to stop him. I'd love to see you try to do any better. Then maybe you'll understand how scared I was, how little I could have done. It must be nice to be an outsider, to talk about my experiences like you know anything, analyse my decisions, go on about what I should have done. You don't have a damn clue how terrifying it all was, how I felt having to go through it. Oh yeah, you're right, it sure would be the courageous thing to do, to sacrifice your life for someone else. But you know what? People like that only exist in stories. Except you don't actually understand that. You just want to give me crap for not being perfect. Do you want my pity? Is that all you want? If I tell you I feel bad for you and oh how hard it must have been, will that satisfy you? Do you not want to know what you can do now? What's even left to do? Nothing I do is going to make her situation any better. It won't make her arm come back. All is not yet lost. Open your eyes. Take a good look. Take a good long look inside yourself. Think about what you can do. Stop sitting on your hands, telling yourself it's too late. There's still time to make a difference. You just have to commit to act. I don't think you're an especially bad or cowardly person. I think you're an ordinary young man. It might sound like I'm telling you to do the impossible. But soon, the time will come when you must make your choice. When you must stand up and take some responsibility for what you've done. No one's childhood lasts forever. The good days are long behind you before you ever realize they've passed. When faced with the consequences of your actions, you should not have turned and run, but held yourself accountable. If only most people had the capability to do that, including myself. It is, perhaps, a disproportionately large burden for you to bear, but it's fast approaching. and you need to make a decision. Find your courage. Set Morgana free. Mel.
Mel? But even if I open the door for her, it's too little too late. She'll never forgive me after.
Is her forgiveness the reason you should act? No. It's penance for what you've done to her. Atonement for your sins. Whether she forgives you or not is beside the point. The question on the table right now is whether you are going to do the right thing.
And what about her blood? Without Saint's blood, Nellie won't... You don't have to worry about me, dearest Mel. My life isn't so important that I want to take someone else's away to keep it. I'll think about what I can do to help too. It's partially my fault after all. So please, Mel, set the Saintess free.
Your quiet life is built on a foundation of lies. And I know that by now. You've realized there's no real value in a life like that. You wanted to do something about this. You sought salvation.
Salvation? But who would give it to me?
I already told you I would.
But why?
Because I promised you.
And you expect me to believe that?
Yes. If you choose to sit here and wallow in your regret, there's no going back. Now is your only chance to make a change. Mel.
All right. I'll help. I'll help you set her free. Dearest Mel, I knew all along that was what I needed to do, but I could never bring myself to act on it. There was no way I could accomplish anything alone. I'm basically helpless on my own. Everything about this is so completely outside anything I've ever had to deal with before. So I had no way of having any idea what I was supposed to do about it. God can be pretty cruel. Why would he force a boy like me to make such a difficult choice?
Yes, he can be. You are made to be part of a more normal, less tumultuous world. But you've come too far to go back to that. So the least that you can do is change the world you're in now.
Yeah. I doubt I need to remind you, but you know, you can't get in with only my key. You need all three, and the other two, they don't feel an ounce of remorse. Taking their keys won't be easy.
Easy or not, we have to get them.
Oh. Oh dear.
And I'm sure there's a way. There must be.
Just so we're clear, you're not going to overpower them. The guy with the sword's much stronger than you, and he knows how to use a blade. And he's the Lord's bodyguard, so you're not getting near the Lord either. Even the two of us together wouldn't stand a chance against him. You seem pretty weak from the looks of you. Who knows, maybe I am stronger than you.
God, I really do want to hit this boy.
Deep breaths, Michelle. Deep breaths.
There must be some way we can get their keys. I know they both have people they're close to.
Huh? People they're close to?
We can talk about that later. Now that you've made your decision, talking with me isn't your top priority, is it?
Mel? Nellie? I'm sorry for involving you in all of this. And I'm really sorry for being, well, what I am. I'm no prince, that's for sure. You always were my prince though, dearest Mel. You did your best to be the brother I wanted you to be. Honestly, I adored the way you fawned over me. All that affection just felt so good.
What? Oh, wait, that was Mel saying that.
What? It made me feel like I was special, important, having someone to care for, to pamper. It was empowering.
That's the kind of guy your brother is. If someone else, some other girl were ever to show up and call me her prince, say she loved me, I would probably try and act like a prince for her too.
Why would you say that?
Because all this has been so hard on me, such a huge weight on my shoulders, that every so often I would think, just how much easier would it be if I could get rid of her? Wow. I mean... If Morgana was just a regular girl, not a saint or a witch or any of that, just a pretty girl about my age, she might have been the one getting all my attention instead of you. That's who I am.
That's not you, dearest Mel. You're just beating yourself up.
Maybe you would have chosen her over me, but that wouldn't make you any less of a kind man. How can you say that after everything I just told you?
Because Mel,
Tell me how despicable I am, Nellie. I'm not the brother you once adored anymore, am I?
You're not what I thought you were, but you're still my one and only brother. That will never change, no matter what kind of person you become. It was wrong of me to try and make you into my prince, Mel. I should have done my job as your one and only sister in the whole wide world, been there to help you as much as you helped me. I kept pushing my fairy tale fantasies onto you, and you did your best to live up to them, and I ended up forcing you to pretend to be someone you're not.
That's not true, Nellie. I enjoy feeling idolized.
But you knew it couldn't last forever, didn't you? I should have been beside you, not looking up at you. I let you coddle me. I let myself indulge in your love. I thought everything would be alright as long as you kept telling me how adorable I was. They were like magic words to me. I kept my eyes shut. Mel, Starting today, I'm going to do my best to be your sister. I'm all done holding you to fairy tale ideals. I won't make you pretend to be a prince for me anymore. And I won't try to be your princess either. I'm just going to be your little sister. So get back on your feet and stand tall, dearest Mel. I know you'll probably have to pay for what you've done when the Saintess goes free, and I know I'll probably cry about it for days, but I won't regret making the decision.
Well, I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting you to handle this so maturely. You're putting your big brother to shame, Nellie.
Mother once told me that girls grow up faster than boys.
He was right about that.
Thank you, Nellie, for accepting me in spite of all the awful things I've done, and for having me as your brother.
You're quite welcome, dearest Mel.
Well, it looks like that's one problem solved.
They finally reached a point in their relationship where they belong. If she could have come to terms with herself sooner, come to an understanding with him, then maybe she could have reeled in her ideals before she lost control of them.
Yeah, maybe. This Nellie and the other Nellie seem to be of the same essence. They both have a somewhat excessive love for their brothers, and that love expressed itself by transforming him into a prince.
If she could have done the same thing then as she did here, then maybe their tragedy could have been avoided.
This is before then, though. Since they were able to fix things up in this life, maybe it will have a positive effect on their next life. This could change the future.
They may share the same souls, but they lived in completely different times. Do you really think something like this could have any effect in the lives of people hundreds of years from now?
There's no way to be certain, of course, but considering how tightly the two seem to be bound, I doubt it will have no effect. I hope it has some effect.
Giselle.
I was there in the mansion as it all happened, and I just stood by and watched. I feel so guilty about that. If I had done something, then maybe it wouldn't have turned out like that. I hate what I was then, what I was until just recently. From the memories left imprinted throughout the mansion, I showed you bits and pieces of their lives, and as I told you their tale, the only thing I contributed was disparaging commentary.
I don't feel like you were that critical of them.
I absolutely was. I talked about them like they were somehow beneath me.
Yes, you did occasionally offer an opinion on someone or something you showed me beyond the doors. But the fact that you are mostly detached from the events there is what allowed me to get to the core of their characters. If you hadn't been in the position you were, so you could tell me the story the way you did, I would never have been able to talk them into helping. You contributed more than criticism. Your words weren't for nothing. They made this possible.
It makes me feel a lot better hearing that from you.
And if you still regret your inaction, then make up for it now by taking action here and have faith that it will bear fruit in their next lives.
I will. I wonder if Morgana might have a change of heart too. It's not like Mel wanted to bring her so much pain. He deeply regrets what he did, so maybe she won't bear quite as much resentment for him when she learns that. Yes, I know what you're going to say. If that was enough to assuage her, she wouldn't have held on to her hatred for all those hundreds of years. Still, though, I hope it does something for her, however small.
As do I.
It's, gotten pretty late, so I'm going to take Nellie back to the cottage.
Okay.
If you have some secret plan to get the other two's keys, could you fill me in on it tomorrow?
Sure.
Also, I could get you another room if you wanted. This one isn't the nicest.
Ah, no, it's fine. I've come to realize I'm more at home in less comfortable environments.
Michelle.
Am I just imagining it, or was that just as depressing as it sounded? That's not quite what I was going for.
Well, anyway, if you're fine with it, suit yourself. Say I've got one huge lingering question, if you wouldn't mind enlightening me.
Yes?
Why would you go to such lengths for me? You seem to know Morgana, so I can understand why you'd be fighting for her. But me? I had a part in putting her in that tower. You have every reason to hate me, so why would you want to help me?
If this was all it took for me to hate someone, I would curse every last man and woman in the world. I bear no animosity for you, and even if I did, you've committed to take action.
That doesn't explain why you were so concerned about us. It almost seemed like you actually cared about me and Nellie. But we're complete strangers. We just met today. Because some part of me couldn't think of you as strangers anymore. Huh? That's right. When he came by this afternoon to talk, he didn't feel like a stranger to me either. It was weird, like he'd known me my whole life. So I made him into my second brother. Your second brother? You're more than welcome to change the order, Nellie. Make him number 2 and me number 1. I wish I could join in and be big sister number 1. I'll have to think about it. After all, you might be number 1 material. But, whoa, why is that even up for consideration? I'm just kidding, dear Smell. Oh. I'm still kind of confused. But anyway, I'm glad someone like you showed up. I've actually been praying every night for God to send someone who can get me out of this. I really am useless all on my own, constantly looking for someone to help me, unable to do anything by myself. And trust me, I realise how pathetic that is. Now you must have had a pretty good life to be able to be so proactive in the face of adversity. I bet you had everyone's respect, helped people in need, had plenty of friends who had your back, and weren't tossed out by your family like I was. You must have been incredibly blessed. I'm jealous, really. Sorry, that came out of nowhere, I know. Well, I should be going. See you tomorrow. Good night, Michelle, brother number 2.
Good night.
Michelle, he wasn't trying to be...
Yes, I know. I just thought it was rather funny. I'm not taking a stand because I've been blessed, but because I've got nothing left to lose. I fight for Morgana because I understand what it's like to be tortured day after day. Having experienced the loss of my siblings, I didn't want the 2 of them to go through the same thing. If anything, it's those who have lost the most that are most likely to take action.
I'm not sure if you've realised this or not, Michelle. But you've gotten to be a great deal more expressive since arriving in this era. I can't see your face, but I can hear it in your voice, and I can feel it in your presence. So I'm sure it's showing there too, making all sorts of faces I've never seen before. Some of the things you've lost, you seem to be getting back, so you can't say you've got nothing left to lose anymore. Promise me you'll let me see all these new faces for myself one day.
I will. I promise. If we can manage to destroy the mansion, that should release you from its darkness, and allow us to see each other once again.
I trust you. I have faith we can do this.
Wait, but the mansion's destruction, both our souls should be returned to their rightful places, which would mean erased from existence. Giselle?
What?
I just thought I sensed you grimacing.
Wow, you felt that?
What's the matter?
Sorry, I didn't want to bring down the mood. It's just, well... And I know this is asking for the moon, but... I was just thinking it would be nice if you had a life you could go back to.
If I did?
Yeah, I mean, here you are, expressive as you've ever been, walking around outside, being around other people, talking to them after all that time in the mansion, and without a life of your own to go back to. I'm sorry. After seeing behind your door and learning how cruel and inhumane life was to you, I feel like the world could stand to do something good to make up for it. It's done all the good it needs to. I have someone who cares enough to lament my fate. What more could I ask for? Michelle.
Thank you, Giselle. You're not the only one who's asking for the moon either. I wish I could have a life with you as the person I am now. And for that, knowing I have no future, feels worse now than ever before.
Alrighty, that's enough moping around for one night. We should start planning for tomorrow. Things are definitely looking up. It only took one day to get Mel on our side, so let's keep it up and win over the other two.
I would certainly like to, yes.
Shh, where did all that confidence go?
The other two won't be nearly as easy to convince as Mel. I'm not even sure we'll be able to talk them into helping.
We do have a pretty good idea who the swordsman's in this for, though. The nun. So maybe we can get to him through her, like we did today with Nellie and Mel.
Yes, manipulation. Maybe. Alright, then we'll start by approaching her tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
The Lord, though. Him I'm not so sure about. I'm assuming he's from behind the third door, but we didn't run into anyone he was close with today. And in Morgana's telling of the events of the Harvest Festival, she only mentioned 5 people.
Let's see, the Lord, the swordsman, Mel, Nellie, and the nun?
There's one person unaccounted for.
We just haven't run into them just yet, that's all. If he's the man from the third door, I can't imagine she won't be here to...
Who's losing their confidence now? In any event, tomorrow we talk to the nun. I only hope it goes well as it did today.
You've got me. You don't have anything to worry about. Or, all things considered, you might not even need me.
No, I wouldn't say that.
You handled Mel pretty amazingly, though. I'm not going to lie, my heart was pounding the whole time. I was afraid you were going to slip up and say something boneheaded. But you managed to keep it together, and I didn't have to come to the rescue.
Well...
I could make a book of quotes out of your performance today.
Oh, for the love of God, please don't.
So I'm not concerned at all. Say whatever you think is the right thing to say. I'm more than happy to sit back and watch.
The more you pile on the expectations, the more afraid it makes me that I'm going to trip up. Besides, I don't think I could have done any of that without you.
Why not?
Well, my life was hardly as pride-worthy as Mel seemed to think, so I didn't really feel like I had a right to talk to him like that. But knowing you were there, urging me on, was what allowed me to act without hesitation. So, thank you.
No thanks necessary. But if you say so, then you're more than welcome. I'm glad I could be of assistance, if just a little.
That you were.
Now, let's keep this momentum up tomorrow. It's getting a bit late though, so you should probably get some sleep. What is it?
I kind of don't want to sleep.
What? Why not?
For somewhat childish reasons.
Oh, are you sad you won't be able to hear my voice? Are you lonely? You poor, poor dear.
I am.
What? That's the last thing I expected you to admit to. Okay, well, do you want to stay up and talk for a little longer then? Not too long though, you need to rest up for tomorrow. And who knows, maybe I'll show up in your dreams if you wish hard enough. Sorry.
Adorable. The fact that I'm even able to talk with Giselle right now is a miracle and a blessing. So it is avarice for me to yearn for more, knowing I've already been granted such a great bounty. I want to see her face as much as she wants to see mine. She's infinitely more expressive than me, and I want a good, long look at all those many expressions up close. I want more than her voice. I want her whole body. I want to feel her warmth. In this era, I have all 5 of my senses in full working order, as I did when I was alive. Giselle, though, she doesn't. She remains dead. As lively as she may be now, that's one thing she did not get back. I truly wish she could have been here too. She would have certainly found more joy in her renewed life than me, and she certainly belongs under the sun far more than I do. But she, rather than me, was one left behind in that realm of darkness. A fact that frustrates me immensely. In life, I would have considered her remark about seeing her in my dreams silly and saccharine, but now, I very much hope it happens. Oh, Michelle. 3 days. Is that going to go down to 2? 2 days until her death. Oh dear. Oh. Wake up. Come on. Wake up, please. Come on, up with you. Is it Mel? Yes. Oh, thank goodness. You were out so good I was scared you might be dead for a minute. Good morning. How are you feeling? Ugh. Huh? Why are you looking at me like I just kicked your cat? It's incredible how much more pleasant it is to be woken up by a woman than a boy. I love you, Michelle. That's the thanks I get for waking you up? Or did I interrupt a nice dream? I did, didn't I? And it was a dirty dream too, I bet. You definitely seem like a mind in the gutter kind of guy. Damn, Mel. What accusations. I will murder you. But what? What? Let's not be hasty now. What you said you were going to help me out. That doesn't sound very helpful. The worst part is how similar his wake-up call was to Giselle's. I'm just kidding. And you know, I can get up on my own. Fair enough, I guess. Though, put yourself in my shoes for a sec. I came in and you were still as a corpse. It startled me enough I took your pulse. He touched me while I was sleeping. It was faint, but it was there. That's wonderful news. They're handing out breakfast in the dining hall. You can go get a plate yourself if you want. It's just some bread and wine, though. Dining hall? There's quite the crowd. All the people were here helping with festival prep, so you should probably hurry if you want to get some. Hold on. I need a minute. My mind's still waking up. First off, I thought you said the church wasn't offering boarding at the moment, so why a dining hall? Ah, right, it's not, but they do still offer breakfast. For free, of course. Damn, free breakfast? I see. Now, what do you mean by festival prep? As I mentioned yesterday, the Heart of the Harvest Festival is here at the church, but it's a city-wide event. There are all sorts of supplies that need to be purchased, decorations made and put up, that sort of thing. So we've got volunteers from the city here to help. I see. I believe today they're supposed to be putting up decorations outside the chapel, so the courtyard should be a bustle. The courtyard? Ah, yeah, less court, more yard, really. We passed through it on our way here yesterday. Oh, right. I think I know what you're referring to. So, as long as I'm here, I don't have much choice but to help with prep.
I'd honestly rather set Morgana free right now, but the other two are bound to find out if either of us do anything too conspicuous. So for now, I should stick to my routine, at least where people can see me. That would be the smart thing to do. Yeah. Anyway, let me know when you're planning on doing anything. If there's anything I can do to help, I will. I'll let you know. Okay, well, I should get going. See you later, I guess. Mel, do you know where I could find the nun? Her? She should be in the dining hall. Thank you. And the other two men? The Lord and his bodyguard? They're only around early mornings and nights, so I doubt either of them are here right now. Why only them? That's when we go up into the tower. Though, even if they were on the property, you wouldn't be able to just walk up and talk to them. Especially not the Lord. Also, I don't keep track of where they go or what they do. Sorry. I don't really want to know what they're up to. So I've kept my distance. Understandable. Thank you, anyway. See you later. He's holding it together fairly well, all things considered. Finally resolving to do something about Morgana took a big weight off his shoulders, I guess. Oh, Giselle. He was missing her. Good morning, Michelle. Morning. It's a bit soon to be feeling relieved, I think. There's still work to be done before Mel can face Morgana. That first step is still a big one, though, at least for him. I suppose. Anyway, it sounds like the Lord is going to be difficult to make contact with, which is what I was afraid of. Our only opportunities are when he's here to feed Morgana. Mel did say he didn't keep close tabs on the two of them, so there might be more than just that. First priority is getting you fed, though. So off to the dining hall we go. Out of curiosity, did you sleep at all? I haven't been sleepy once since I became the maid. But I'm used to it, so don't worry about me. You said you see what I'm seeing there in the darkness, didn't you? That's what it looks like, at least. Which means when my eyes are closed, she has no light at all. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to sleep after all. I know what you're thinking, Michelle. And no, you're wrong. You need your sleep. You won't have the energy to do anything if you don't keep yourself well rested and nourished. You're right. We should get going. To the dining hall. Oh, this is a familiar fireplace. I make my way through the halls to the room with the fireplace, the area I used as a living room, and the area currently serving as a dining hall. Sitting in the centre of the room is a long table, lined with bread and wine. Standing behind the table and handing out food to the long line of people is a nun. This being a church, no one is speaking especially loudly, but there's still an indistinct buzz hanging in the air as dozens of people whisper back and forth. The majority of people in the room look poor, like they genuinely need the assistance, but there are a handful of those who look more than well off. That's a lot more people than I was expecting. They don't turn anyone away, which, as I recall from Morgana's account, nearly drained the church of everything it had once. They don't seem to be for want of supplies at the moment, though. I assume that's thanks to the Lord's patronage. Most likely, yes. In any event, I doubt we're getting anywhere near her in the mornings. She looks like she's got her hands full. That doesn't change the fact that we need to speak with her. I'm going to try to squeeze past the crowd. But, Michelle, wait a sec. Hey now, no cutting in line, young man. We've been waiting since dawn. Please let me through. I have business with the nun. I ain't letting you through just 'cause you told me to. Oof, damn. This is important. No more important than any of your business. Our lives depend on this food. So get your tail to the back of the line.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, the nun.
What seems to be the trouble?
Could I ask for a moment of your time? I need to speak with you.
Well... As you can see, I'm a bit occupied.
I won't take much of your time, I promise. But it's very important you... Give her a rest already, young man. Can't you see she ain't interested? Give me a hand getting this guy out of here, fellas. What? Wait.
Just don't get rough, okay?
What the hell, woman? Of course, our saintess. Pick it up, young man. You need some time outside to cool off. Stop. Watch the hair. Ouch.
That went extraordinarily well.
You know, Michelle, sometimes I can't decide whether you're calculated or reckless. And now I realise I never got that bread. We should wait and try to talk to the nun when she's not so busy. She has to have some free time during the day.
You're right.
What do you say we take a look around the mansion while we're waiting? Who knows, maybe we'll run into someone else.
All right.
Don't let it get to you. I mean, he was manhandled out of that dining hall. I mean, I would be a bit kind of put off. As Mel had said it would be, the mansion was packed compared to yesterday, and most everyone I saw appeared to be excited for the upcoming harvest festival. A number of them even greeted me as we passed in the halls. They were so nonchalant about it, I wasn't quite sure how to react. I was amazed that anyone, let alone multiple people, would treat me so normally, considering how far from normal I looked. There were a few surprised looks, of course, but no one called me a demon or an angel based solely on my appearance. Perhaps they were just used to seeing people of all different colours around the city, so they had an easier time accepting the way I looked. No matter what the reason, though, it was quite nice being treated normal. After meandering through the mansion for a while, I make my way to the chapel. Despite knowing I have no way into the tower, part of me still wants to be near it. So I head around to the back side of the podium, where the stained glass window towers over me. It's the same as I remember. I've always loved this window. It makes me feel like I've got an angel watching over me. Had I been given a different name, maybe I would feel the same. That said, I don't dislike it as much as I used to. I'm glad to hear it. Off to the side, at the very back of the room, is the door leading to the observation tower. Its chain's shut, though that's no surprise. The lock is the same one I saw back in the mansion, but the chains are just regular chains. They're not glowing with that awful black light. They're simply dull and grey. If only I had an axe, then we could just chop the door right down. I don't think an axe would help. If it were wood, maybe, but this is metal, and rather heavy at that. You never know, hit it enough and anything will break eventually. We'd be in chains ourselves long before we made it through this door. What are you doing here? Uh-oh. Is it the nun? Ah! Oh shit, it's this asshole. It's him! I was under the impression you and the Lord were only around mornings and nights. And why would you know that? Good question. Oops. Who are you? He's getting suspicious, Michelle. I'll take care of it. I'm a friend of Mel's. A friend of his? Does that surprise you? Never once have I seen a friend of his before. He has plenty of friends, I'm sure. No one has had an opportunity to pay him a visit, that's all. Never mind the boy's social dealings. Was he the one who told you my schedule? That I work for the Lord? I've got to be careful about what I say here, or he's going to start getting suspicious of Mel. I asked him. Asked him what? I heard some talk around town saying the Lord was seen coming in and out of this estate on more than one occasion. Naturally, that caught my attention. A lowly peasant like myself almost never has the opportunity to cross paths with a lord. So, hearing he was a regular visitor here, I was hoping to have the honor of catching a glance at him. When I asked Mel about the Lord, he mentioned he had a bodyguard, which got me wondering, what kind of person would someone so distinguished entrust his life to? Dig around too much and you're liable to end up in the ground yourself. So he told you I was the Lord's bodyguard? Was he not supposed to, for some reason? No. It's true I am his bodyguard. The question is, how did you know it was me? It wasn't difficult. You do rather stand out from the crowd. From Mel's description, I was able to recognize you almost immediately. If our roles were reversed, you would have similarly little trouble identifying me from a short description. The only thing distinct about me is my race. Where do you come from, if I may ask? Beyond the Silk Road. Ah, you come from Japan. China, beyond the Silk Road, so probably Japan. Or China. From the east, then. What country? Is that any of your concern? No, I'm just curious. Why is your hair white? Why are your eyes red? They're naturally that color. Is that so? Nature can be quite the ball and chain. Is it just me, or does it sound like he's sympathizing with you? It's hard to say. Honestly, I'm still having trouble reading him. Either way, it sounds like he bought your explanation. So it does, which is a relief. Now, what business do you have with this door? Ah. The door was not my objective. I came to look at the stained glass window. I happened to notice a door with an unusual lock off to the side, so I got curious and went to look at it up close. The area behind the pulpit is off limits. I was unaware. Maybe I'll have to put ropes up then. Why is it off limits though? Is that any of your concern? No, but the way you're talking about it has piqued my curiosity. Do you not know how to keep your nose out of places it doesn't belong? Get out of here, and don't come back. As you wish. Hold on. Yes? Your name? Michelle. Michelle, almost the same as the angel there. That would be because I was named after him. I see. What an unfortunate name. I despise angels. May I ask what yours is? I have no name. You don't have... What do you... No, never mind. Farewell. Oh wow, that was scary. He does not want anyone getting near that door, huh? I thought he was going to pull his sword on you. I wonder, would I die if he tried to kill me? There aren't many people who could get away from a blade like that, especially in his hands, unharmed. You're probably right. Having already died once, the idea of doing so again feels wrong somehow. You managed to talk him down, though. I'm surprised. You're quite the accomplished liar, Michelle. Is that so? It's hard to believe that was the same awkward, stuttering Michelle I know and love. Am I really that much of a bumbling fool normally? I wonder what he was doing back there, though. It's well past dawn. Standing watch, presumably. With as many people as there are roaming about, he's probably worried about people like me getting near the door. I doubt he plans on spending much time anywhere else until the festival's over. And with him on guard, we've got pretty much no access to the door. I sure hope we can talk him over to our side. Mel was never an enthusiastic accomplice. His guilt is what allowed us to win him over and get him to confess everything. On the other hand, he's not likely to be so forthcoming. It all depends on how deep his ties to the nun are. Presumably, she's the reason he's involved. That said, we managed to communicate well enough. Are you still sore that I called you awkward? No, I don't mean me. I mean him. What? Oh. He was far from rational or coherent when he was living with you in the mansion. You're right, he does seem like a completely different person here. Losing his memory in the shipwreck was probably what triggered his transformation into the beast. So I guess this must be what he was like before that. What he carries inside him is no different now than it was then. He's simply able to hold himself in equilibrium now. He's keeping a balance between his rational human side and his violent beast side. He does somewhat remind me of Bestia during his short period of calm. That, or the glimpse we got of him on the ship while he was still a merchant. I would say that's probably closer to the man here now. Huh? The ship? You were the one who showed me the memory. What? I have no recollection of that. What? What? Oh yeah, you always... Wait, what? Why did she not remember showing us the ship? What happened at that point when we were showing about the ship? Oh yeah, you also mentioned seeing another woman's memories behind the second door, didn't you? From outside the mansion, yes. You didn't see them though, as I recall. All I am aware of is that what took place within the mansion, as well as whatever Morgana felt like telling me. Resonation. What? Nothing. Morgana mentioned something about me resonating. I don't know why I would be capable of such a thing, but because of what it allowed me to see, it's all but impossible for me to ignore the plight of these people. Anyway, the point is, however rational he may appear, we mustn't forget that that is not the whole picture. He is much a killer in this life as he was in the next. He's a man of many faces. The gentleman he was around his lover, the brutal, merciless man he was in the ship, and the beast that lurks beneath it all. Everyone acts differently depending on who they're around. But there's something unsettling about how he does it. I do wonder what he meant when he said he had no name. As I recall, he was from somewhere far, far away in the second door, and he looks Asian here too, so maybe he's from the same country. He said he crossed the Silk Road, so the eastern end of the continent, presumably. I wonder if he has the same name or not. It was an unusual name. Oh, what was it? Ukulele? Wait, what? No, that wasn't it. It was... Eucalyptus, I believe. Was it? No. I get the feeling we're both wrong, and that I'm farther off than her. It's not the kind of name we're used to hearing or saying. Hopefully we'll be able to get it out of him. Hopefully. But for the time being, we should go looking for the nun. I imagine she doesn't have her hands quite as full by now. Probably not. To the courtyard we go then. Wow, The crowd just keeps on growing. Are they all helping with the decoration?
It would seem so. Preparation for the festival is in full force.
Ah, I found the nun. She's over there. She's got a bunch of people around her though. What should we do?
I'll force my way through.
How about plan B this time?
What?
Michelle!
Oh, it's going to be Nelly, isn't it? What the?
Are you alright, Michelle? You went down pretty hard. Oh, you're such a weakling, dearest Michelle. I don't weigh that much. Light enough to knock you over jumping on your back.
You gave me no time to brace myself.
Pish posh. My Mel would have had no problem catching me, and then you would have spun me around like a princess at a ball.
Unreasonable doesn't even begin to describe your expectations. Are you sure you should be running around like that? I thought you were in rather poor health.
Amazingly, I'm actually feeling pretty good, and haven't even had any medicine today. Maybe because I cleared things up with Mel yesterday. I cried my eyes out last night, but I feel better now.
I'm glad to hear it. They do say health is as much mental as it is physical, so you might keep getting better if you stay positive. Just don't push yourself.
Why, thank you for your concern, my dearest Michelle.
She's taken quite a liking to you.
How do you like that? It's nice, isn't it?
I'm more not sure how to react.
Oh, just go along with it. You know you want to. Ah, I wish I could be there too. I want to pat that sweet little head of hers.
What do you think she is, a cat? Now that she's opened up though, I will admit she is rather sweet.
Oh, there you are, Nelly. Don't run off like that, you scared me. It's not my fault you lost sight of me, dearest Mel.
I'll try to keep a better eye on you.
So you came to check out the courtyard, Michelle?
You know you really stand out from the crowd. You're so pale, I could tell it was you from way off in the distance. I'm well aware of how conspicuous I am, but everyone's acting so unconcerned. It's honestly kind of disconcerting.
I can't say people don't think you look unusual, but no one's afraid of you or anything. It's not easy looking different from everyone else, is it?
It comes with its disadvantages, yes.
And she would have had to deal with the same thing. That's another thing I regret. I wish I could have treated her more like a regular person. I guess I just wasn't mature enough to accept her.
You spent much of your life in a very sheltered environment, so it's only human that you would have difficulty accepting something that didn't fit within your view of the world. That doesn't make you a bad person. Regardless, you did treat her like a regular person. That's the reason she accepted your invitations to go on walks.
I guess. Question. You know what she looks like, right?
I do.
What did you think the first time you saw it? I know that's not the most tactful question, but...
I got nothing of it. I simply saw her as a person, as a girl.
What? I see. Well, what do you know? Looks like I am a bad guy. And you're a right saint.
No, I've simply seen much worse.
Wow, has he? You know, you kind of remind me of her.
I do?
I mean, you're much more personable than her, but... oh, what's the word? It's not just the way you look. But there's something a little different than everyone else about you. Like an aura or something. I'm not sure.
What was this kid talking about? Are you associating me with the witch?
Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you. I wasn't trying to insult you or anything. But I mean, like yesterday, you were talking like a prophet. I'm always beginning to think that maybe you really did see a vision from God. Enough with all the grown-up talk already. You lost me ages ago. Yeah, sorry. Who cares if Michel is a saint or a prophet or the archangel himself? Michel is my second brother. Besides, he doesn't look all that weird to me. Michel liked that. The saintess is probably just an ordinary girl too. I'm big enough now that I won't think badly of her no matter what she looks like. You are, yeah. And when she's free and feeling better again, maybe we can get together and bake something. That would be lots of fun. She'll forgive you, I'm sure of it. You know, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this so loudly. Wouldn't want anyone to overhear us. Oh right, sorry. But everyone's so busy prepping for the festival, I'm sure we're fine. Better safe than sorry though. As you say, dearest Mel. So, Michel, are you here to help with the prep? No, I was hoping I could find some time to talk with the nun. With all the people coming and going, she's going to have her hands full until the festival starts. Well, that's unfortunate. Is it that important you talk with her? She may be able to give us information that could assist in acquiring the second key. The second key? You're not saying she's involved too, are you? By my estimation, she doesn't know anything. She is, however, very much connected to the swordsman. Much like you acted to help your sister, I believe the nun is his driving force. Are you serious? I find that hard to believe. I mean, she's such a loving, charitable woman, and he's, well, a savage brute. A murderer. It has to be her, though. Have you ever seen the two of them acting particularly close? Never. She's kind to everyone. I've seen them talking once or twice, sure, but she wasn't acting any differently than she does around anyone else. It certainly doesn't seem like they had anything going on. Maybe they're hiding it. Surely there's something between them. I would certainly presume so. Nuns aren't allowed to be romantically involved, so they could be having secret trysts. A forbidden romance! How exciting! So you need to talk with her then, Michel. Leave it to me. You can do it. Well, right now she's showing people how to make the decorations, weaving straw into crowns and flowers and other things. I know how to make them too, so I can take her place teaching for a little. I appreciate it, but if anyone should be offering to help, it's me. There's a bunch of them already done, like over there hanging off the tree branches. Can you make those? They're very intricately designed. You'd have to be really good at weaving to make those, let alone teach other people how. You should take her up on her offer. You're right. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. You got it. I'll let her know that you want to talk, so just hold tight. And you, dearest Mel, are coming with me. You get to help make decorations. I'm not good at this stuff though. Nope. I said you're coming, and that's all there is to it. With me as your teacher, you'll be a pro in no time. Yeah, alright, you win. Let's go. Nellie seems to be in good shape, and it doesn't look like last night caused any problems for them. I'm relieved. Hopefully, they can continue down this path. They'll be fine, I'm sure. I pray that they will be. Now, we should have a little time before the nun is available to talk, so I'd really like to find some shade. Ah, is it pretty bright out today? I thought you could see through my eyes. I can, yes. I can see what's going on, just not as clearly as you. Not enough to tell how strong the sun is, for example. I see. Is she lying about it? Is she not able to see anything? Are you alright? I'm fine. I say, but the backs of my eyes are starting to hurt. 2 days now with hardly a cloud in sight. It's too sunny for Michelle, just like it's too sunny for me right now. Oh, it's too warm. Too much warmth and sunshine. Give me the rain. Ah, there you are. I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
No, no worries. I apologize for pulling you away from your duties at such a busy time. After that little surprise this morning, I figured you must really have something you want to say. I do, something very important. And if possible, I would like to discuss it with you somewhere more private. Let me guess, you're going to propose to me? What the fuck? Now you should know better than that. I am a servant of God the Father. What is this presumption? He is the only companion I'm permitted to have. No, I just want to... I know, I'm kidding. That's a dodgy talk from a nun. I just wanted to tease you a bit. Why? I can't be away for very long though, alright? I will do my best to keep it short. Okay, let's head inside and find a room then. After you. May I ask you something, Giselle? What? Yeah, what is it? Is there something about me that makes people want to tease me? No, not at all. What would ever give you that idea? If you say so. Alright, you have my undivided attention. Make yourself comfortable and speak whenever you're ready. What is this, a freaking inquisition? I'm here to help those in need. My ears are at your service. The good, the bad, the ugly. Tell me anything and everything. Give me the goss. You're a nun. You should probably be a little more particular with your conversation topics. What's wrong? Nothing. I actually want to talk about you rather than myself. About me? You or the people you associate with, I suppose. Are you acquaintances with the Asian swordsman? The Lord's Bodyguard? I mean, I know of him, but I can't say I know terribly much about him. What? I was under the impression you were quite intimate with him. Did someone tell you we were? No, that was just the feeling I had. Uh-oh. Remember, I am a nun. Whatever you think you saw, you're probably imagining. I'm not allowed to give any man special treatment, let alone be intimate with one. There's something between you two, though. What do you mean, something between us? Yeah, you're accusing a nun of having some sort of illicit relations, Michelle. Be a bit more subtle about this, perhaps. Maybe you should try telling her what we know about him here. His primary motivation is to keep her church running, after all. Is he not here to keep this church, your church, in operation? Is he what? Did he tell you he was? He did. Oh, really? That's a little... No, that's quite surprising. I hardly ever see him talking to anyone. Are you friends with him? Perhaps acquaintances would be a better word. Ah, well, he seems to be a nice enough fellow. Are you really not close with him at all? No? So if he told you he was trying to protect this church, it would have to be out of a sense of gratitude, nothing more. Wait a minute, have we got this wrong? Is the nurse actually... So in the story with the Lord, and I forget what his name was. Sorry, the story that we saw with the guy who was the rich capitalist, right? The rich businessman. The white-haired girl was there as his wife, but his friend was also there. I can't remember what her name was, but she was one of the maids. But she was a friend that grew up with him, who also hated him. And I am wondering if the nun is actually her, and therefore the nun is involved with the Lord rather than with the bodyguard.
Because we don't know, I mean, we've assumed that she is the love interest of the swordsman or the beast from the second story. Just because of her face, but like she is wearing the nun headdress, so you can't see her hair. And maybe she looks similar to the friend of the businessman. Because she used to be a nun in that story as well, did she not? I feel like she said that she was a nun at one point, and then she left to be a maid or something. Or she stayed at a nunnery? Is that what it's called? Maybe I'm misremembering though. It would have to be out of a sense of gratitude, nothing more. Gratitude for... A while back, he was in a pretty bad place in life, and I gave him some food. This was when I wasn't all the way out here. But as a church in the city. There were other nuns there too, as I recall. Right. We also served as an orphanage, so it was us and a ton of children. I've since fallen out of touch with them though. But as servants of God, it is our responsibility to offer assistance to those in need, which is exactly what I did for him. No special treatment, I just did the right thing. So whatever you think you saw between us, there's nothing there. You're Pauline though, aren't you? No. I'm sure that was the name of the friend. My name is Marie. Marie? How can that be? How could she not be her? Marie, that sounds a lot like a name we heard behind the third door. 1 second. These sneezes are mad. Oh, what's that? I apologise, I'm sneezing left and right. But I don't think they're the same person. I concur. There's no guarantee everyone's name has to be the same. Mel's and Nellie's were, which just made us think they all would be. That's true. And on the subject of assumptions, it's possible her connection to the swordsman is also a flawed one. Because again, all we have to go on is Mel and Nellie. Although in Morgana's story, I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines of doing what he did to keep her church running. Was he not referring to this woman? I should get back down to the courtyard then. Nellie won't be able to handle everything on her own. It would be great if you could help with the preparations too. 1 second. There's absolutely nothing going on between you. This is a bit rude, Michelle. Come on. Why can't you just accept the answer I've given you? I don't like being so blunt, but you're really overstepping your bounds. I said there's nothing, and there's nothing. What do I say? If she leaves now, it won't be easy getting another chance to talk to her. Oh, is this going to be an opportunity to make a decision? Save you time. Right. Will I be able to get him to tell me his story without having her on my side, though? Will I be able to get his key? Maybe you could try talking to him with Mel there. The two of you get together could convince him to give up his key. When I encountered his shadow in the mansion, he told me that if I had mentioned the key to him in the past, he would have cut my head from my shoulders on the spot. Then, should we try to find the Lord first instead? I think I'll try to shake her up. What? Take a leap of faith on there being something between them. Oh, this is bad. Happy now? I should really get going. Hold on, just one last thing. Yes? Would it be possible for you to grant me access to the observation tower? The tower? Why? Because the Lord and his bodyguard are keeping someone imprisoned at the top of it. What? They've locked up a girl with miracle blood. It's not very appropriate to joke about things like that. I am not joking. The medicine you are handing out, that's real human blood. What proof do you have? Oh shit, Michelle. I have someone else who can corroborate my story. And what proof do you have that they're telling the truth? When you hear what he has to say, you'll know. But the greatest proof is his key. Sorry, but there's no way I can believe someone's being imprisoned here. Your claims are an affront not only to the good people who give their time, money and hard work for the church, but to God himself. Open the door and you can see for yourself. I can't. I don't have the keys. And does that not seem the slightest bit unusual to you? Does it not make you think they may be hiding something? No, because I know that it's being kept in the tower. You know? The observation tower is the Lord's personal property. He stores his money and valuables there because a church is less likely to be broken into than his manor. His money. Even thieves fear God, so you can understand why he would want to keep his property here. Does that actually make sense, though? If he's so afraid of thieves, surely he can afford to hire guards. He doesn't like keeping guards around. Why not? Haven't you heard? There have been several failed assassination attempts. The Lord is not a bad man. He could just be rather aggressive in his work, which has a tendency to make a man enemies. What excuses are these? Some of whom want to see him dead, and keeping his wealth at hand only increases risk. Now are you satisfied? Insist all you like, but he's not keeping money in the tower. He's got it. Are you after the Lord's wealth? Is that what this is about? What? Again, I don't like being so blunt, but who do you think I'm more likely to believe? The Lord, who has been supporting me in this church, or you, who showed up out of nowhere demanding me to open the door? That's a good point. I'm telling the truth. There's a dying girl in that tower. I'm sorry, and I don't want to do this, but if you keep this up, I'm going to have to call the guards. I really must be going now. The swordsman, he helped imprison the girl in the tower, so he could get the money necessary to keep your church up and running. With your help, we could stop this. Take some time to cool off. Wow, she was very, I mean, she might be lying and everything, but even then, she was very accommodating, Michelle. She didn't just get the guards on him. Would it have killed her to be a little more open-minded? Come on, she had a point though. Michelle just came out of nowhere. Why would she believe him? I really hope she considers the possibility we're telling the truth, even just a little bit. Is she so defensive because she trusts the Lord that much? Or is her trust in the swordsman? Or maybe it's simply because she doesn't trust me. I think I'll head back to the courtyard. I need some time to consider our next move. That's a good idea. And there might be something Mel and Nellie can do to help too. Perhaps. With the nun denying any involvement with the swordsman, and him being so inscrutable, I find myself at a complete loss as to how to go about crossing the wall standing in the way of getting the truth out of him. My mind brings me back to the events of the second door, the most savage of the three tragedies. The things he did then were undeniably inhuman, which makes me wonder if his perspective on these events would have any influence on Morgana's perception of him. If at all, a positive influence seems the less likely. Was he man, or was he beast? If nothing else, he wanted to be human in the beginning. What was it that he truly desired? If he hadn't been under Morgana's curse, would he have wanted to be the same killer he was?
And I think I'm going to leave it there for today. Let me just save. We'll return fail. Well, that was interesting. We confronted. Well, we had a chat with. Well, we had a nice chat with Mel the day after. Mel is helping us out now with Nelly, and they seem to have been made up, been able to talk it out, and they seem to be doing well in terms of their relationship seems to be holding well, so that was good. We confronted the nun, and we came across the swordsman when we tried to look at the door to the tower. The swordsman was more amiable than we thought he would be, at least according to Michelle. And then we tried to get the nun to kind of spill the beans as to what her relationship is with the swordsman. But she seems to be quite adamant that, there's nothing going on, which makes me think maybe she is telling the truth, because she was very unflappable. I didn't feel like we had uncovered any seedy undergoings or trysts between the two. So, what does that mean? We weren't able to get her to kind of like give up any information. We didn't get her on the back foot or anything, or maybe we have, because maybe she's now going to talk to the Lord and the Bodyguard, the swordsman, and maybe that's going to cause a bit of a scene, and maybe something will come out of it. I'm just thinking though that that's probably bad in the long run, because they're going to clearly come for Michelle and probably kill him if the nun tells him everything. So I don't know, I'm kind of confused. Maybe I'm wondering if the nun isn't the fiance of the beast man from the second story, if instead she is the friend, which I'm pretty sure her name was Marie, of the businessman in the third story. And if she is, how does that play out here? Because she was close to him when they were growing up, but he had killed her father, and so she hated him, and she spent all that time to try and get close to him, to kill him. So is that what's happening here? Is this actually that character? I believe she had blonde hair. She was a maid from a maid in the third story, and actually she has a close tie with the Lord, but she wants to actually kill him or something. Anyway, this is a lot of musings, a lot of thinking, a lot of rambling. I'll leave it there for now. This is as ever interesting, fascinating, and I'm intrigued and want to see what happens. I'm eager to see what happens going forward. But for now, this is the house in Fata Morgana. I am Ash Mannix, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye.